All right, we're going to continue with finding and developing the linear equation from graphs today, just like we were doing yesterday. So remember, there are four types of slopes. We have positive, which is going up to the right. We have negative, which is going down to the right. Okay, we have horizontal, which is zero slope, and we have vertical, which is undefined. So we have those four different kinds of slope. Okay. And there were a few steps to be able to find our equation. We always started with our b, which was our y-intercept. Okay, the b was the y-intercept, and it was always on the up and down, okay, on our y-axis. So we start there, and then we need 2 points, okay? We need 2 points, 2 exact points. So go ahead and hit pause. See if you can come up with your m and your b on these equations. Make your best guess, and then I will catch up with you and see how you did. Okay, so let's go ahead and start by finding our y-intercept. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight our y-axis because that is what we're going to look for first. Okay, so if I take a look at my y-axis, this one right there is going to give me a positive 5. So the b is positive 5. Now, since that is an exact point, I can actually use that point as one of my points for slope. And I notice that this is going down, so I know that my slope is going to be negative. Okay, I know my slope is going to be negative. So I'm going to put that negative right there. And I remember slope has to be a fraction. So I'm going to kind of follow this line and see if I can find an exact point. So notice that this one is not exact, it's in the middle. This one is not exact. That one, it's pretty close, but I think the best exact is right here. And I'm going to go ahead and make my slope triangle. And then I'm going to count. 1, 2, 3. And I went down, so that's negative 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have negative 3 over 5. And if you remember, our equation was mx plus b. So you were putting something in for x and then putting your b in. So I have negative 3/5 x plus 5. Okay, let's go ahead and see if we can look at the next one and come up with something. So it looks to me like, I'm going to erase this a little bit just to look. It looks to me like this b is not exactly on a point, on an exact point. It looks to me like it's pretty close to negative 2, but it's not really negative 2. So I'm going to call that negative 1.8. And I could do negative 1.7, negative 1.9. I don't know. I'm guessing or estimating what I think that b is. So that means I cannot use that point. Okay, I cannot use that point. But if I move up this, I see there's an exact point there. And it looks like there's a pretty good exact point here. Now, this is a positive slope because it's going up. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. So up positive 3 and right 1. So that slope's going to be 3 over 1 positive. So my equation is y equals 3 over 1x minus 1.8. Or I could write it as 3x minus 1.8. Same thing. All right, so if you haven't already done the third one, go ahead and hit pause and see what you can do with it. All right, so my b, again, is in the middle. So I'm between 0 and 1. So that I'm going to call 0.5, positive. Okay, I'm going to call that 0.5. And notice that I cannot use that point because it's not exact. But I see a good point there and I see a good point here. So again, this is going down. So I know my slope is negative. So down 1, 1, 2, right 2. So negative 1 over 2. So y equals negative 1 over 2x plus 0.5. And that's the estimate of my line. Okay? All right, so that's what you're going to be working on today again. coming up with your slopes and your y-intercepts, and then coming up with your equation. So if you are struggling with this, please reach out to us, because this is a really key part of understanding how linears work, because tomorrow we're going to move on to graphing. So we're going to give you the equation and you're going to have to graph. So you have to be able to do both. Okay? All right, we'll see you on the next one.